brought
in the rankings. So, man, that was a good opening match, I can say.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, we keep mentioning that Hale really were not showing up in this matchup. Not only that, in the previous tournaments as well, and a good catch up that they have done, moving so much, and they have grabbed that winner chicken dinner. But we are going to a different map, which really or usually change the momentum for the team. And judging from the performance, yesterday's performance, it's for Miracle Vibes who have a lot of eliminations overall, so they might be the ones who will be moving on to this next battle. But we're going to see Group A and Group C fight it off. Group B will be taking a rest, so they will be out of the picture right now. Let's see who will be grabbing that Erangel King title.
Yeah, so this is their debut for day number 2, ladies and gents, for CJ Evos. We've got Enigma Galaxy. Okay, well, I was trying to read off the teams right there, but yes, coming from Group C, we got Aegon IA, BN United, NB Esports, Morph GPX, Dewa United, and of course, Kagendra.
Yeah, and that is Group A and C. Not only that, we also have upcoming tournaments brought to us by BattleXO. There's a Ruthles Community Cup, and the prize pool is $500 US. Not only that, giveaway alert right here, especially if you share and invite a lot of people to watch our stream. 70,000K or 70K, and that is watching on YouTube. We have a chance to grab that iPhone 15, and who doesn't want that? We only have a few of it. You need to qualify for it. So ready to grab those prizes and more prizes, Red Queen.
Yeah, 600 UC to be given away every day. So you might as well follow the 3 simple steps to be able to qualify. Okay, so just go to the website. It's www.battlexo.com. Search Ruthless Esports and join in. And then, of course, the most important thing that you need to do is actually comment your character ID to participate. And again, the winners will be announced on Instagram every night stream. So that is a BattleXO, our battle partner for this tournament, a tournament discovery platform where you can actually play games, spectate games, and earn cash at the same time. My goodness me.
Well, there you have it. We are being asked a prediction, and for me, so some of the teams are not be playing, and the top 3, I would say, since 4 Miracle Vibes and Alter Ego will not be here, I'll go with Genesis Esports because they had great in terms of performing well, grabbing that winner chicken dinner, but compared to the other teams in elimination, not so much.
Oh man, you guys just caught me by surprise. We didn't do this yesterday, production.
Surprise!
Okay, so I'm gonna be choosing my my team. Let's go with okay, the Savior this time. I'm gonna go with the Lamborghini.
Oh,
if he's playing, oh my goodness, but yeah, the Savior, just put it in. I'm gonna put it in, the Savior.
Yeah,
have that much faith for them.
Yeah, regardless if Lambo will not be playing, I mean, we still have Chua, who really has brought in a lot of like great gameplay coming from this team. And the Savior, it's one of the team who really showed up in most of the tournaments, especially in this organization, because previously, like they are the ones in the top. They showed up most of the time, if not just like. Not just in Erangel, but also in Miramar. So good choice in there. Good choice in there for your prediction. Let's see who will be getting it in this Erangel map.
Yeah, so just to name a few accolades coming from D Savior. So they placed in 5th overall during the PMGC 2021 Grand Finals and League East Championship. That got them quite a hefty amount of moolah, I might say. And so, of course, I always wonder if Lamborghini really does drive a Lamborghini, because that would be super cool.
I sure hope so. I mean, and like that really gives a lot of potential in playing esports, because if you'll be able to get all those luxury with how you're playing and improving in esports, a lot will be motivated to do so. One thing's for sure, I saw when I was in Malaysia, I saw Sem9, who is in, I forgot which sports car it is, but he was just flexing it all over the place when they were in there. So I mean, it's just me drooling in there because first off, I'm not in Malaysia at that point. I don't have a car in Malaysia, and we're just hanging back in there by the team. But again, that's what esports has to offer. If you grab a lot of a prize pool, a lot of chances to grab all those prize pool, then you have a chance to all get all those luxury as well.
I'm not really much of a fan when it comes to sports car. I'm more of like a muscle car kind of girl. And you know what? I'm actually eyeing to get myself a Dodge, but the only way I can afford that one is just really do a lot of casting and buy myself from Pubg, because it's now, I think it's coming, right? That's the new skin for the vehicle, so I believe that's the only time I'm gonna drive a Dodge muscle car. So yeah, I'm very happy, you know, for the players. I mean, man, the amount of prize pool that we have for each tournament just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I do hope, you know, casters will get the same amount of money, but and this is what we always talk about, me and Sir Cloud. You know, Ruthless Hype Esports, you guys have already evolved into something this massive, right? So hopefully in the near future, we can have some sort of like big tournament, like a LAN tournament. And please, Ruthless, don't forget to invite us, right?
I mean, that's something to look forward to, especially with all the hype happening in some LAN tournaments and everyone being gathered in one place. It gives a different feel and a vibe as well when you go into the battle, and it changes the pace of the game. Some of the teams who really are aggressive when it comes to online changes their pace when they're on the LAN, and it's because of the presence of the other teams. I mean, personal presence of the other team. So let's see on how it will happen. And since Red Queen asked, I will be asking the same. If an invitation will be offered, then hopefully I'll be included as well. Now let's see. We'll be invited back to the lobby as the battle begins. This is Erangel map, and it slides through from west to east right now. And a lot of teams have had their chance to study their, I would say, their dropping points if they want to get away from those who are in the early engagement. Let's see if that will come in fruition. The first stage of circle, though, is not that far, so everyone will be able to make it. But I think it's Pachinki that they will have a little bit of a battle. NGX and another team, I think it's the Savior, who's already on here.
Of course. I mean, Pachinki, this is the Savior's territory. So if you want to get this out of their hands, I mean, you just have to challenge them up for this specific area right here. I mean, in this kind of lobby, as you all know, it's super stacked, ladies and gents. And so rules of survival really does apply. I mean, if you want something, you'll just have to fight for it. And right now, it's Nigma Galaxy versus the Savior in a battle of control in Pachinki.
And Chua goes in for the first elimination. Goose has been taken down, and Chua will be backing off after that knock. Let's see if Frankie will be able to follow that up. And another engagement will be happening between Cersei as well as RRQ. 3 down already for the hands of RRQ, and their pick was the only one remaining. Let's see if the rush will be made. Is a chance for the pickup being done, and gameplay in there. Pecco unable to go for the hit, and Molly will be thrown on him. It's a good thing he managed to dodge this and go and reposition, but it will be sooning a 1v4 if in case a pickup will be done.
Yeah, you know what? Nerpeco knows that Megamind is just trying to buy some time, you know, to go for a pickup right here. That was a good throw of Molly. I mean, Nerpeco was actually forced to jump from the second floor down to the ground just to stop, you know, Searcher like Megamind go for the pickup. But man, we're talking about low in HP, doesn't have that much resources, and it's crunch time, right? So we don't know who's gonna win. It's a 50-50, but at the end of that chaos, it was Sersha who won the fight. But speaking of fight, man, this is not over just yet. We can still see two of these teams fighting it out. Who's gonna be kings of Pochinki? But Hugo, okay, I can say D Savior has a little bit of advantage considering that we have players on the rooftop. So this is the best vantage point, a best spot as well to get those information that you need so that you know how to best approach this one. So let's see what Nigma Galaxy has, you know, inside their sleeves to be able to pull off a win up against D Savior. And then may I just remind everyone that Pochinki, D Savior knows this, you know, in and out.
Yeah, I mean, they have been dropping in here, not only in this competition, but a lot more in the previous, you know, others. Old Frankie right now also taking the rooftop together with Hugo. And speaking of vantage point and information gameplay, that can bring a lot. And let's see on how much information can be given to Chua, who is just going in for the flank. Coops, who was taken out earlier, will be up and running. Let's see if they will be running in or probably running away, because the flank on a 1-3 split being done by DA Savior might be able to bring that. But Freak will be flanking as well. Weenie might be caught off guard if in case he will be seen onto that angle, but they're keeping their distance. They don't want to be taken advantage of, and they just want to bring that pressure to Nigma Galaxy.
Well, as you all know, PUBG Mobile, it's not always about the gunfights, right? It's also about wit and how you can outsmart your opponent, and getting their information is actually one of those things, one of the big factors, if you're going to ask me. It's how good your team is at extracting that information and actually breaking it down into pieces. I mean, having a plan, it's one thing. It's just like the 50% of it. The other 50 comes to how good are you going to be executing that plan, because one wrong move can actually be detrimental, you know, for both of these teams.
Exactly, and it doesn't end with just that cycle, because you need to make adjustments on your planning and as well as execution because of how dynamic Battle Royale is. Chua has advantage, but Trigger Discipline has given him that surprise element, and let's see if he'll be able to bring down the Lord. And a good peek. I don't think he has been seen yet by Lord, but it is Rakup who sees him, as well as information relayed on him already on the target, and Freak just hanging back in there, and that might bring Nigma Galaxy with an element of surprise. So Chua will need to back off, go back to his teammates with Hugo and Old Frankie for him to survive a little further, because it's getting close, a little bit too close for comfort between these two teams.
I mean, D Savior, obviously they're going for multiple angles. They're scattered around the Pochinki area. And they're going for a pinch, obviously. And Winnie was able to actually shut down Freak, you know, from that exchange. Obviously, they would want to corner or like pin down the rest of Nigma Galaxy. So far, so good on the side of D Savior. I mean, if you can actually make those multiple angles work to your advantage, then it's almost absolutely that you're going to win this fight.
Yeah, let's see if win it will be done by either team. Though one has been brought down, Frick has been taken out of this game, and it's more of a slow pace will be brought in by Enigma Galaxy, where Chu is already rushing in a little bit too close in here on Rakuva, and let's see if he will be able to go for that knockdown. A little bit of distraction gameplay being brought in by Enigma X, or probably a misclick. That's one thing that you don't want to happen, especially in a standoff that just like this. But going in onto our map right now, everyone needs to maze, because the next stage will be showing, and the previous one, the blue, will be closing in as well, leaving United and survive. But let's see who will survive. The battle continues on Pochinki. A different team is now fighting in this area of the map.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a smooth ride, you know, for Udo Alliance as well as BN United. Dewa United, however, there's a big possibility that they will collide with the rest of Morph GPX, because they are around Gatka area. But Dewa United, they are headed for the top of that Gatka mountain, which is fairly a good position, right? You want to have always a very good vantage point. But NB Esports right here, check it out. There is a DBS gameplay happening and was able to actually acquire that point. So it was fast. It was very effective. Therefore, you have one elimination point under your belt.
Yep, and let's see how much more can be brought in. And NB Sports will need to be a little bit cautious, because if Luxy can creep in here without you expecting and without you seeing, then they can be gunned down. But that was a smart move, backing off from that battle, and NB Sports will have their teammates being brought back from that knockdown. Now they will need to make do with what they have right now in terms of resources. But back to Hale Esports, wherein we saw them go in for aggressive approach in Miramar. Right now they are slowing the pace. They have been sighted by Aegon I8, and let's see if they will be able to take down. But the battle of Nigma X and Dig Savior continues. This time around, it's Dig Savior who has one down.
Yeah, and checking out this circle, man, it has gone, farther, or like far north, right? So this battle needs to happen fast. It needs to end fast because it's no part of the zone. T2K on the other side of town is also in a battle up against, if I'm not mistaken, this is Prestige Evos, and it looks like, T2K is on the losing side. So Doki right here might still challenge them up, but man, this is a big risk. And there you go. I mean, Doki also was, Tuyok, right? Tuyok was also has been sent back to the lobby, and T2K, man, I don't think they're gonna be surviving this one.
Yeah, Doki right now releasing a little bit of grenade to pressure them out. What's he going down with only a few HP? US gameplay is still managed to go for that hit. It is now one of the other twin that needs to be taken out, and Red Face is already on the ground bleeding out. All the grenades being thrown at Doki, but he managed to recover, and the fight is back. Scar L and DBS, let's see who will win this battle. And there you have it. Luxy will be going for the hit, and only a few HP all around to his side. Doki has an advantage, but it's smart enough for Luxy not to peek in because DPS will go.
Oh my goodness, I mean, Satsu and Luxy, a lethal combination if you're going to ask me. Luxy, man, obviously he was at the disadvantage considering that he only has like 1 HP left, right? And Doki has the cover. He is inside that house, therefore having all the advantage to himself. It was just actually just a matter of time. But here we go, another zone shift, and again it's already onto the northern side. We can still see Yudo Alliance as well as BN United, Sersha, Hale. They are making their way inside, coming from the south side, and I feel like there's gonna be a party right at the end of the zone, or right at the edge of the circle right there.
Yeah, let's see if the party will invite a lot of teams, because the party right now is an unending between these two teams. They started off hot, and right now with this Lord, they might be able to do it. Lord right now for a hit, and there you go. Finally, the battle is over, and it is Nigma Galaxy who wins this. But to what cost? They've lost 2 of their teammates. Not only that, a lot of time as well in their location, in their rotation, and they will be taken eaten out by that blue. And let's see on how or who will be surviving. Team Cersei right now already 1 down to their side, and they are still in the battle against Aegon. Will they be able to completely eliminate the squad? That is a question. With 1 left, it is a noob right now who will be moving away from harm's way.
Oh my lord, making it happen, for all Nigma Galaxy players. I still can't believe though that despite having all the advantages, for the side of D-Savior, they completely lost Pachinki to Nigma Galaxy. So I am preparing to see them once again take back Pachinki from Nigma. So we'll just have to wait for the perhaps a second they wrangle from this group of teams. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Aegon I8 has just been eliminated, so that brings us down to what, 11 teams remaining and 41 players alive. Same thing goes to T2K Esports, man, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah, the thing is, T2K provided a great engagement, and if I read that correctly, it was not T2K, it was not Doki who put in the final nail on the coffin against for CJ Evos, and that was how that could have been coming from Kagendra, and that was Frenzy. So he was saved for the moment, but well, towards the end, they only have a few points and didn't get a lot of placement. Well, let's see, Morph GPX right now, one of the aggressive team in Erangel. Let's see if Bobo will be able to put that in fruition. They managed to escape this engagement. It's all information gameplay for this team before they put in the action.
Can't really say like what the best strategy that you can pull out here in PUBG Mobile. I mean, considering the kind of point system that we have, obviously your team needs to be aggressive in getting those points and getting those elimination points, because placement, it's not as reliable as it was before. And so it begs the question if you need to make sure that you get to the latter stages of the game before you rack up points, or do you rack up points and not really pay that much attention, like getting those placements? I mean, you have to find that balance, right? But what can you say about that, gentlemen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good debate that has been going on, especially with the changes that we have in the placement points. You can go for the early engagement, especially taking advantage of not so much of resources from the other teams, and then you lay low until such time wherein the remaining players will be at loss if in case they balance against a team. And that is what we're seeing right now. Some of the teams are already losing a few of their players, and if they are faced against Sergio, who is a complete squad, yes, you can sacrifice a few of those knockdowns, but you can manage to take that win. Imagine 11 on elimination points. They didn't go in aggressive just like this. It's just in timing that they have for each engagement. But speaking of timing, we have Galak right now going in for the grenade hit, and Sersia, as soon as we praise them, they are going down.
Yeah, perfect timing really goes into a factor as well. Now, Taylor United, okay, we can see Galak. He's all alone. He's trying to keep plays coming from Sersha at bay, throwing in all of those nades, and he was able to actually shut down one play. But here comes RNJ. He goes for Galak, pulls out his DBS. This is a DBS shutdown, ladies and gentlemen. But RNJ came up on top, removing Galak from the face of Erangel.
And it got me nervous a little bit because he hit the buggy of they were United, and I thought he will be on the bitter end, but he managed to survive. Not only that, it will leave two players hanging dry for the side of Dewa United, because they are in the face of Morph GPX, who earlier was silent, and this is one of the tactics that we've seen from Morph GPX. Going back to our discussion in eliminations as well as placement, they are just surviving with the complete squad, and they are timing well who they are challenging. Thus, they are getting a few of those points. But since Galak has been taken down, the advantage now will be taken away from Dewa Esports, and Cleon is getting that surprise. Bobo Hodo has been taken down. Rocky for the pickup. Let's see if a Daybot can take advantage of this, or probably they will survive. But Nades is not going for the timing. It is Nooks who goes for the hit, and another knockdown, which Rocky needs to play.
Ooh, man. Well, Devil United for sure is not in the best of positions. Rocky goes in for the kill, gets a 1 point for himself, and just like that, Devil United has been eliminated, ladies and gents. And there is another fight happening. Sarsha once again up against BN United at this time. Oh my goodness. Two of the players coming from Sarsha already knocked down, but you know what? Sarsha continues to rack up those points. We are already talking about 14 elimination points, and man, oh man, are they really on rampage right at this moment?
Like, do they really want to end this early? Because they have been getting a lot of those eliminations, currently in 10th place, and they want to move up. It's not so far though, and with this number of points, I won't be surprised if they will be able to grab that top 5 spot After this match, RNJ though has been taken down, and he's the one who's bringing a lot of hatred from the getting a lot of hatred from the other teams because he has been using that vehicle to run them down. Well, let's see if they are the ones on the receiving end. Megamind will go for the pickup. They are against Genesis Esports, who's also a team who's going to want to retain their top spot.
Wow, to be honest, this is already like a battle of nades. We can see a rise of a number of throwables being used in every match, which is actually outstanding. It's phenomenal how these teams are being able to cook up that nade and throw it at the right time, and they can already knock down 2-3 players, which is, you know, absolutely great. It works best for the team. That's the fastest way that you can eliminate players inside the battlefield. But what happened a while ago between Sersha and Genesis, it looks like Genesis opted to back away a little. They retreated and not really engaged. Perhaps they would want to live to fight another day because, ladies and gents, this is already the 5th stage, and we're down to 7 teams and 24 players remaining. But we still have, you know, like time, because it's a minute and 55 more seconds before we, before we reach, you know, stage 6.
Yep, and let's see if a few teams will be survived towards that stage 6 because we're seeing Cercia going down from the hands of NBE Sports, and it is RNJ who has been brought down, and there goes the respawn. NBE Sports on the receiving end of that battle. Kagendra will be in here trying to fire at them. Let's see if they will grab all those points. Cercia though will be taken out. 15 on the elimination and 7 on the place right now, and it has been a lot already as we look in the right hand side already in the first spot, and we're just looking at 2 teams, so I won't be surprised by the end if they will be on the top 3 because Genesis Esports has have their teammates receiving all those damage, and the moment we mention it, they have been taken out.
Yeah, Genesis, and that's also your team prediction. So I'm safe. I'm safe because this Savior was the first team to be taken out. So yeah, it brings a smile to my face that Genesis Esports was eliminated from this match, but not because they weren't really doing good, but because, you know, I'm safe from gentlemen from having the right prediction in this evening, ladies and gents. 5 teams remaining. We've got NBE Sports, we've got Morph GPX, Kagendra, Hale, and BTR. Okay, let's talk about Kagendra. Supposedly, we were only allowed to take in top 3 teams coming from the qualifiers, and it was so dramatic coming from Kagendra. They weren't really having, you know, good set of games. It was a loose streak, to be honest. And so, you know, me and Sir Cloud were talking that, you know, it's a little bit awkward not seeing Kagendra in the playoffs, but there was a huge chance, right? We were able to include Kagendra now in this play, so I'm not seeing yet the true power coming from this team. I've always known this team to be very explosive inside the battlefield, so we'll just have to wait and see, because right now they're getting that punishment coming from NB Esports, and they can actually eliminate Kagendra from this angle, from this perspective.
Yeah, I mean, they are stuck in between the zone as well as a lot of teams who is gunning them down. And let's see if they will be able to survive. Going back to your point, I think there was a little bit of fall off from the grid for the side of Kagendra, and even from the spring or PMPL spring of Indonesia, they ended up in 14th place. So similar to what we've seen from Haley Sports, they're really not performing that well in other competition, and there's a chance for them to really bring themselves back up. But how much can they do so? Because a lot of teams want to grab all those points. More GPX right now in the top 5, or the final 5 that we have, has 6 elimination and still continuing on, bringing down the ones who grabbed that chicken from earlier, and they are still on the roll. Sky Only will be taken down, and it is NC2 remaining for the backstab coming from Gen Post. Ale has been eliminated, left with 4 teams, and it is now 9 kills for Morph GPX and a possibility of a complete squad.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the best part. They still have all of their 4 members, right? And we are already at stage 6 with just 4 teams remaining. So number advantage goes to them, right? Okay. Oh,
Well, it has been taken out.
they lost one.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to jinx it, ladies and gents, but yeah, we've lost one member coming from Morph GPX. But yeah, they were able to put up 9 elimination points, which is not bad at all. If they get the winner chicken dinner, then it's a double-digit finish once again coming from the team. But yeah, currently this is the position. Everyone is out there in the open, but you know what? Lapar is inside the compound, but it is already almost at the edge of the circle right there.
Yep.
Morph GPX, okay, they have some, you know, like a couple of shacks, but NB Esports, okay, they've seen Kagendra, and I believe Kagendra, they don't have anything or like any covers at all, so it would be difficult again for Kagendra to survive this. But then again, you know, these are one of the heavy hitters, but Zone is not really favoring them right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what they're gonna do.
Let's see what they're going to do. It's just the shrubbery and nature who's protecting them at this point. And then later on in 35 seconds, it might change because as you mentioned, they might be going into the open right now with a few of the teams getting this compound. Not only is the other teams like NBE Sports, we also have Bigatron Red Villains with Lapar on this station. High ground still favoring him if in case anyone shows up. And Flyboy though, as well as the rest of Kagendra, still have this ridge and as well as vehicles from them to get away, but there's not so much space to go into. You just need to buy some time for a few more seconds once the next phase will be showing, and that is what the move that they will make, and it will favor Bigatron Red Villains. Now let's see, and if they are the ones to be left behind, will they be able to survive? Because a lot of teams like NBE Sports as well as Morph GPX is gunning at them.
Oh man, now this changes the game. Okay, so we have warehouses, you know, for the side of Bigatron Red Villains, and they are at the bottom of the circle. So big chance, you know, for them to actually win this one, considering that all the teams that they need to eliminate is just right up in front of them, right? But
Yeah.
Kagendra has the least, I can say, still to get that at least chance to get that winner chicken dinner, considering that they will have to do a cleanup challenge up Morph GPX, and whoever wins the fight will then have the chance to get inside the safe zone. But Kendra, oh my goodness, they are losing their players, and Morph GPX remains at the top of the game.
And there you have it, 11 on elimination. No Bobo who needs to be picked up, but they have a lot of eliminations already. Rocky to the rescue, but he also lost a few of those HP. Zero though will just be waiting, probably perfect timing, but there goes the hit. The ping just hit them down, run him over, and there goes Kagendra out of this game. 12 eliminations with 3 players potential, and it is 3v3. Let's see who's getting to be eliminated next.
But Pank be like, oh, no, bro, you cannot hide from me. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And there you go, ladies and gents. Bigatron Red Villains, NV Esports, Morph GPX, your final 3 teams for our match number 2. 3 plays remaining onto the side of BTR, and we can see a lot of smokes being popped up once again. And it looks like the first teams that will battle it out will be NB Esports versus Morph GPX. But this is like a guessing game, right? Because there's a lot of smoke, concealing their position, not revealing their location just yet. So they will have to shoot each other inside the smoky area, which is difficult to pull off.
Yeah, one thing that BTR needs to do is just have that not show, and that is a dodge that we're talking about. Mondo made a mistake of going outside the play zone. Bobo also take down Rich, and it is now left with 1 for NBE Sports. It is now Sek who is left alone and probably weeping right now. Genfos takes down Cake, or steals that kill, and Pepek finish it off. It's now BTR and Morph GPX, both teams coming from Indonesia, and Lapar has been brought down by the huge punch from Rocky.
Boy, do I have a lot of questions, you know, coming off from that gameplay coming from the NBE Sports. Okay, but we're going to talk about that one after we finish the game, because right now, Morph GPX, I mean, they have now the best advantage of actually finishing this one and getting the chicken dinner, because two of the players coming from BT are already knocked down. So it's just Boys Hill that's left to defend their team. So this is like what, a 3v1 situation. They have the numbers, they have the advantage. So let's see what's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure, 76% of that one, Morph GPX will absolutely get the chicken dinner for match number 2.
Yeah, Boys Hill, the only thing he needs to do is be really, really quiet, but Bobo Ho just beats him to it. And we didn't even see Bobo Ho from that aerial view. That's Morph GPX has that element of surprise. Winner, chicken dinner, coming from the aggressive team of Morph GPX. Not only did they get the 10 placement point, they get a huge amount of elimination as well.
Well played, well played. I mean, I just have to give it to this, guys. This is probably just like the first time for me to see Morph GPX really, really gunning at it. I mean, really being aggressive inside a battlefield, because I did cast them during Ruthles Invitational Showdown, and they always, sometimes come up short, right? But in this gameplay, I mean, even day number 1, they are finishing games with a double-digit score, right? And today they were able to catch that winner chicken dinner. So it's an amazing gameplay coming from Morph GPX right here. And I do wish they can continue on with this kind of consistency, with this kind of pace, because I mean, we all know this. Sometimes it can be really exhausting trying to maintain pace like this one. You really have to have that strong, like a mental fortitude to get through all 6 matches in one game. But I would like to see that kind of commitment coming from Morph GPX to continue on racking up, or like moving up in the overall rankings.
Yeah, I mean, at some point there, even from previous matches that we've seen them, Morph GPX really doesn't have that much of consistency, but the same wish that I have for this team. They need to be consistent, and it only happens if not just Rocky brings in a lot of points, similar to what we're seeing as he's the MVP, 7 elimination, but if the contribution will be the same from the rest of the gang. Imagine like very close to 50%, and you have 7 eliminations. And in total, if I saw that correctly, they have a total of 17 on the elimination. But going into match summary for match number 8, on this day of this competition, Rocky not only grabs one of the title, he also have the highest damage as well as the highest knocks, and he's just an overall MVP right here. RNJ as well with the highest assist and healing done from Enigma Galaxy Coops, and this is from the start of that gameplay, and they managed to survive though. So there's a lot of healing because they finish that battle between the Xavier outside of the blue.
Yeah, and also coming in at second with the highest elimination is Pepeng, from Morph GPX. So man, Morph, this was their game, right? 27 points. That is just phenomenal. But yes, ladies and gents, if we're going to be talking about those 3 teams that didn't really do good, it's RQ, Aegon I8, and Yudo Alliance, as they were not able to really put up any points so far for this specific match right here. But for Morph GPX, Sersha, Bigatron, Red Villain slowly picking up the pace and ending the game with a double digit, we're still looking out, for these teams and how far they can take their organization or their clan inside the Clash of Giants. Longest elimination distance goes to Rich. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say Rich. Okay, I might get into trouble, my guy. But yeah, coming from NB Esports, a total of 393 meters right here. So amazing. It's a good job.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the final survivor from NB Esports, and with the distance they have, that's a good chance that he will have a lot of long-range elimination. But on the overall, this is how it changed. Well, we have 4 Miracle Vibes who sit this game out because they are in a different group, and Morph GPX just managed to grab that #1 spot, 12 place that they overtook. Not only that, Sergio as well, because Though they only have one on the placement point, they have 14 on the eliminations. Thus, they brought themselves up a little bit higher in between for Miracle as well as Genesis Esports. So the Titans are being pushed down. And let's see the second page right now. Bigatron Red Villains slowly moving up. The same goes for Kagendra, and the rest is slowly also being pushed down by the movement.
Yes, sir. And the only teams that has a winner chicken dinner for the second page would be Aegon i8 Esports and Hale Esports. Good and huge improvement coming from Bigatron Red Villains since they've moved up 7 spots, and also for Kagendra that was 3 spots in total. So still quite an improvement, I might say.
Yep.
But this is the page, right, where nobody wants to be in. So yeah, we've got T2K Esports with 24 points, Yuta Alliance with 23, and B Esports though coming off from quite a good match, was able to rank up a little bit, 4 spots to be in total. Boom Esports as well, still part of page 3, but again, this is just they've only had 5 games, just to be fair. So I believe they are coming next again, for the next round. So let's see if Boom Esports can actually make any difference, for the upcoming match, because I'm pretty sure that the fans in the comment section is already going insane. Of course, you just have to continue on cheering for your favorite teams, like cheering for your favorite players, and make sure that you root for them. Or maybe you can also let us know who you guys rooting against. That would be a fun conversation. But all this and more, boys and girls, after a very short break, so please don't go away. Well, just like I said, it's going to be a very short break, ladies and gents. So welcome back to day number 2 of the playoffs inside the Clash of Giants, brought to you by Ruthless Hype Esports. My name is Red Queen, together with another Filipino caster, Gentleman Gaming.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here casting with you, Red Queen. And it's such amazing that we are seeing some of the teams really move up after day number 1. We did mention earlier from the start of this broadcast that there's not so much of a storyline when we proceed or ended day number 1. Right now, we're seeing a few of the teams who really are doing well in terms of the homework that they've done after one day of battle, and it's really showing. Some of the teams have been moving up in place, taking over the top spot, and Hale Esports, who grabbed that Miramar map, as well as Morph GPX, who grabbed that Erangel map, is moved up exponentially. So that's what homework as well as good tactics and execution can bring into a game just like this.
And here we go, ladies and gents. In case you don't know which your team belongs to, again, this is going to be Group B versus Group C. So we're going to be welcoming back the likes of Four Miracle Vibes, Alter Ego, Stalwart Esports, CMFGSM, SEM9, GLU Squad Esports, Boom Esports, and of course, Seventh Element.
Yeah, and let's see on what they can offer, especially for those who have been brought out from that top spot, because they want to grab that number one spot. Morph GPX really did a number on them, and there's still a lot at stake. But not only that, we also have a community cup that has been offered, and this has been brought to you by BalXO, $500 and a lot of slots available for you to take. So what are you waiting for? Register now and be part of this competition.
Yes, sir. I mean, all the links that you need is already provided for you. You can just find it down there at the description. Also, we have some giveaways, ladies and gents. 30,000. Okay, if we reach 30,000 on YouTube, watching on YouTube, we're going to give away HyperX headphones. 5 of them, ladies and gents.
Ooh.
And if we reach 50K, it's going to be 2 AirPods. And we reach 70,000 people watching our show, we are gonna give away iPhone 15, and this is what, like Sir Cloud mentioned yesterday, it is now the weapon of choice. If you want the best gaming experiences, you know, Apple has now made sure that the iPhone 15 will be then very good, or like very compatible with the gaming.
Yeah, we'll go back to that later on. This time, we also have 600 UC that is given away daily. All you have to do is follow the 3 steps. And don't forget the final one, character ID, that needs to be commented on to that. And going back to the iPhone, if I'm not mistaken, with all the reviews that I've watched and seen, it's a little bit lighter. So it's easier for players to use that gyro as well and move down and trying to avoid all those shots. So I won't question that. But the question here right now is, which of the team are we choosing to grab that winner chicken dinner? I'm going to throw this back to you first on the first one, because I did the first one earlier.
It's a good thing you threw it to me, gentlemen, because right now, since you picked up Genesis Esports, well, I understand why you picked them, because they were the only team that actually made it happen. You know, getting back-to-back winner chicken dinner. But this time, I'm gonna go with Four Miracle Vibes. Why? Because they are the defending champion, right? So they have a reputation to maintain, and also they're no longer the kings, you know, sitting at the throne right at this moment in the overall ranking. So I do believe they have a kind of motivation to actually finish well for this coming round. What about you?
Yeah, for me, we still have Morph GPX though, but it is a different map that they will be playing. And if we look at the roster, we have great performance coming from, say, Hale, but they're not in this list. So I'm going to go with GLU. They show great performance on Miramar earlier, and that is just the reference that they have, as well as how much they had to offer in just day number 2. So GLU is my pick.
Yeah, I mean, not bad. I mean, GLU's squad, I've been saying this over and over again, they were the most consistent team during the qualifiers. Their chemistry, their synergy, and how they can break down information is amazing, right? I'm still waiting to see if they can, again, continue on bringing that kind of energy back into the playoffs, considering that, you know, we have a stacked lobby. I mean, if you think qualifiers were hard, the playoffs absolutely much harder. And so I would love to see how GLU Squad Esports as well, they're going to be adapting, you know, in this kind of lobby so far. I believe it's a good choice as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with your choice as well, because of they maintaining their so like the championship title, and they have been in there by the end of day number 1 on spot. They have been pushed down because of performance by other teams, but I don't think they will be giving that up easily. So let's see who among our picks will be taking this number one spot, as well as a winner chicken dinner, because the game is about to begin in a while, and we will be back in the sandy lands of Miramar, and from the luscious jungles of the desert. We are now moving in. It will not stop right now, because Miramar has a lot to offer in terms of mobility as well as a long distance engagement. So let's see as to where the flight will be coming from, as well as where the teams will be landing, because here comes Miramar.
I do hope we don't have that caster curse, because
Actually,
I'm not really
earlier,
getting lucky with my predictions. So
actually, earlier I noticed that every time we point out a team, they're the ones, if not being taken out, they're the ones who are being taken down one at a time. So, guys, don't blame us if we are jinxing your team. It's just part of the job. We can't avoid reading their names and pointing them out, especially if they are in front of us. And it just depends on them to break that curse.
Oh yes. So I'm really looking out for Miracle Vibes. I feel like they're pretty motivated, considering that they have left the top spot, and from the get-go they have been always strong when it comes to getting those elimination points. And I do feel it's gonna be they're gonna be replicating the kind of tenacity from yesterday's event. So let's see how they're gonna be executing everything right now, since all of the teams are getting ready to head on to their favorite drop locations. We can see 4 Miracle Vibes dropping immediately, very near where Morph GPX is currently staying at. But you know what? We have another team that is also in the same area where Morph GPX is. So I believe this is going to be the first battle area, perhaps. So we're not quite sure just yet. But in Los Leones, we've got Nigma Galaxy, Aegon I8, and Kogendra. I feel like even, okay, I'm not sure if that's Arca. No, it's Kagendra. Okay, I mean, Los Leon is one of the massive areas in Miramar, right? You can fit 2 to 3 squads in here without even having to engage right off the bat. But we don't know how these teams are going to be playing it out. I do believe if they get a gun, they would definitely go for that engagement. They would definitely go for that elimination point.
Yeah, especially for those who are trying to catch all those eliminations point early on into this match. And let's see, CMF right now, though they are hanging back in here against Morph GPX, and we'll have to find out who among these teams will be grabbing all of those points. And CMF GSM, though they don't have that much in terms of performance just yet. So far, overall, they have 6 elimination, and it's not so much to show up in this day, in day number 1, and also in the 2 matches in day number 2. But there's still great potential, because as you mentioned, this is one of the teams that really came from Bangladesh who have a great chance to be able to prove themselves. But that would depend on how they will win all those engagement. You really couldn't choose the gunfight, especially in the early parts. All you have to do is be tactical and probably wait it out, especially with how aggressive Morph GPX is. But they don't have any idea who they are facing against in this drop. So they just need to wait it out, regroup if they need to, and find out all the information before they go for the battle.
Yeah, Morph GPX. I mean, they just feasted on a chicken dinner, and right now CMF GSM really not having like a good time. But we've got Bobo Ho disguised as Frieza over here. Yeah, it's on pro though, and just getting the information so far. But this is going to be effective if you can actually relay, the information back to the rest of the team. Because I'm not even sure if CMF GSM is aware that we've got Bobo Ho on top of them right at this moment, just getting the intel right here. CMF GSM, they still haven't quite found their footing just yet, because there's no good game, for this team. Just yet, this is just day number 2, though, so there's
Right.
still a lot of chance for them to actually make a difference for the team. But this is going to be tough. I mean, if they lose again to Morph GPX, I mean, it's just going to hurt.
Yeah, it will hurt them, especially with the number of points that they grab so far after day number 1 and coming in to day number 2. So hopefully, like what was mentioned earlier, they need to be a little bit tactical, wait for the better chance, and the gunfight, I don't know where it's coming from, and it is Mad Cat was able to take down a Rocky, and this is a start in, but Bobo, oh surprise, Mad Cat right now. Rowdy will need to go for the rush. Here comes the push, and it's off angle. Rowdy didn't get that hit against Bobo Ho, but the pickup has been canceled. And let's see if Cleon as well as the Pink will be able to rush in. And Nate will be in here thrown at them. Rowdy is just that guy, but D46 made it happen. This might be a chance. CMF GSM might win it, and they are doing so with only one remaining for Morph GPX. Bobo Ho just hiding in there.
And Mad Cat, it looks like he just ran out of lives, so he just to wait in the lobby and just watch what's gonna happen for his team. Because man, against Morpha GPX, all they need to do is just really play their cards right. But they have to be careful though, because this is Frieza we're talking about.
I mean, unless you have Goku on your side and will be able to grab all the energy from all the players out here, then you will be in trouble. And Nate's being thrown at them, or probably against them. And let's see if Bobo Ho will be able to survive this. Not quite sure if D46 has that information. I guess they do, as he is already rushing in. But you don't want to go alone, especially with a 3-man advantage that you have against Bobo Ho. You will need to have a backup, or you might go down, but a backup will be able to provide all those damage. Speaking of damage, Bobo Ho damage, but no rush just yet. A recovery might be done by Morph GPX.
Yeah, because CMF GSM, we can understand why they are hesitating. I mean, Bobo Ho did not even move, did not even flinch, even with that nade. So they don't exactly know where he is. But yes, I mean, it's a 2v1 situation, right? They just really have to check those cores. That still, I would have to say, a very good stance coming from Bobo Ho. I mean, even with you're disoriented, but he remained calm. He remained his posture and still kept CMF GSM guessing. So up until the end, he tried to defend the team. So still a very good performance coming from this player. So Morph GPX, after getting the winner chicken dinner from the previous match, they are now the first team to be eliminated out of Miramar.
Yeah, man, this is where we ask for all the misery against Boom Esports, and one is faltering. It's a battle of the Indonesians right now. It is, let's see who will be surviving, who will been taken down though. Not that aggressive compared to what we've seen earlier, and all the great nade plays has been brought in. Crazy almost hit. Suxy has been brought down by YOLO, and that's what we were asking for. YOLO, just bring it on. You only live once.
Oh man, it sucks right now for the side of Prestige Evos. I mean, we've got one player who's currently knocked down, and this is the opportunity, of course, the opening knock that Boom Esports has been waiting for. Of course, if you already have this advantage, you would want to push, right? I mean, you're close into getting those points. And Misery, I mean, it loves company, but right now they are trying to push away players coming from Boom Esports.
I keep walking through with smiles.
Live your best in every moment.
Is a chance to be picked up, but he's out in the open. So let's see how much damage can be received by this team, as they are already moving in, and they were United might be joining the party in